Have you ever found yourself trapped in a cycle where the momentary relief from a bad habit quickly turns into regret, guilt, and a sense of loss? Masturbation is one of those habits. It feels like a quick escape from stress, loneliness, or boredom, but afterward, you're left feeling drained and disappointed in yourself. What if I told you that breaking free from this cycle isn't just about willpower? What if there's a Stoic approach that helps you take control of your desires and unlock a life filled with discipline, mental strength, and true purpose? Today we're diving deep into the principles of Stoicism and how they can help you stop masturbating, master your impulses, and reclaim your life. This isn't going to be about suppressing your urges. It's about transforming the way you think about your desires, building habits that strengthen you, and finding real freedom from the things that hold you back. So, don't skip this video. The insights you're about to hear could change your life forever. 1. Know the real cost of giving. In masturbation often feels like it's harmless, just a quick moment of pleasure, right? But Stoicism teaches us to analyze the true cost of our actions. Every time you give in to the urge, you're not just losing a few minutes, you're losing mental energy, focus, and your self-discipline. It's a trade-off, short-term pleasure at the expense of long-term growth. Think of it this way. Imagine you're working on something important, a project, a goal, something meaningful to you. Suddenly, you get distracted by an urge. You think, what's the harm? It's just a few minutes. But after giving in, you feel lethargic, unfocused, and unmotivated. The momentum you had, it's gone. Now your mind is clouded with regret. Stoicism teaches us to be aware of the consequences of our actions. Every indulgence in instant gratification takes away from our ability to achieve something greater. Each moment spent chasing short-term pleasure is a moment lost in building the life we truly want. 2. Redefine pleasure and pain. One of the core principles of Stoicism is the idea that pleasure and pain are not what we think they are. We chase pleasure because it feels good in the moment, but what if we redefined pleasure itself? The Stoics would argue that true pleasure is found in mastery. Mastery of the mind, mastery of desires, and mastery of self. Imagine the satisfaction you'd feel after overcoming the urge to masturbate. Instead of giving in, you resist. You stand firm. And in that resistance, you discover a new kind of pleasure, the pleasure of control, the pleasure of knowing that you're stronger than your impulses. That is the pleasure Stoicism wants you to experience, the deep, lasting joy that comes from discipline and strength. The next time you feel the urge, instead of thinking about the fleeting pleasure you'll get, think about the deeper pleasure of mastering yourself. When you can resist, you've won. You've proven that you're in control. And that, my friend, is a far more fulfilling pleasure than any short-lived escape. 3. Replace triggers with positive actions. Habits don't exist in a vacuum. They're driven by triggers. Every time you find yourself mindlessly reaching for a distraction like masturbation, it's because something triggered it. Maybe it's stress, boredom, loneliness, or even certain environments. But here's where the Stoics offer us wisdom. We can't always control what happens to us, but we can control how we respond. Instead of letting those triggers lead you into a cycle of bad habits, start replacing them with new, positive actions. Let's say you feel the urge coming on when you're scrolling through social media or lying in bed at night. Stop right there. Don't follow the usual path. Instead, take a deep breath, get up, and do something productive. It could be something as simple as writing down your thoughts, reading a book, going for a quick walk, or doing a short workout. This isn't about distraction, it's about breaking the cycle. The more you replace negative triggers with positive actions, the more you rewire your brain to associate those triggers with something productive. Over time, the urge will weaken because your mind is learning to respond in a healthier way. 4. Time is your most valuable resource narrator. One of the greatest insights from Stoicism is the value of time. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most famous Stoic philosophers, reminds us that we have a limited amount of time on this earth. Every moment we spend chasing empty pleasures is a moment we'll never get back. When you think about the time you spend on habits like masturbation, it might seem small, but over days, weeks, months, it adds up. Picture this. Every day, you're given 24 golden coins. These coins represent your time, your energy, and your potential. Each time you indulge in an unproductive habit, you're spending one of those coins. The question is, what are you getting in return? A moment of distraction? A fleeting sense of pleasure? Now imagine saving those coins. Imagine investing them in something worthwhile. Your goals, your health, your relationships, your growth. Time is your most valuable resource, and every time you resist the urge to waste it, you're building something far more valuable than a temporary escape. 5. Voluntary discomfort. Build strength. Stoicism teaches that the path to mastery is through discomfort. The Stoics practiced something called voluntary discomfort. They would intentionally put themselves in difficult situations to build resilience. Why? Because when you face discomfort head-on, you train your mind to endure. You become stronger, more disciplined, and more capable of handling life's challenges. How does this relate to breaking the habit of masturbation? Every time you resist the urge, you're practicing voluntary discomfort. You're choosing to endure a moment of discomfort for the sake of long-term growth. And the more you practice, the stronger you become. It's like lifting weights for your mind. Each time you say no, you're building mental muscle. Here's a practical way to apply this. The next time you feel the urge, challenge yourself to wait. Set a timer for 10 minutes, and during that time, do something uncomfortable, like taking a cold shower, doing a few push-ups, or sitting in silence. By choosing discomfort, you're teaching your brain that you don't need instant relief. Over time, this practice will make you more resilient, and the urge will lose its power. 6. Visualize your higher self. The Stoics often used visualization as a tool for self-mastery. They would imagine their ideal selves, strong, disciplined, and focused, and then compare their current behavior to that ideal. Marcus Aurelius would regularly reflect on the person he wanted to be and ask himself whether his actions aligned with that vision. You can do the same. Before bed each night, take a moment to visualize the person you want to become. Picture yourself free from destructive habits. Imagine yourself filled with energy, discipline, and purpose. Now ask yourself, is the person I'm becoming the person I want to be? By constantly comparing your actions to your ideal self, you'll begin to see the gap between who you are now and who you want to be. And when you feel the urge to masturbate, remember that vision. Each time you resist, you're moving closer to becoming the person you truly want to be. Breaking free from the cycle of masturbation isn't about repression, it's about transformation. Stoicism teaches us that true freedom comes from mastering our desires, not being controlled by them. Each time you resist the urge, you're reclaiming your power, your time, and your potential. Remember, this journey isn't easy, but it's worth it. Every small victory builds your strength. Every time you choose discipline over distraction, you're moving closer to the life you truly want. Take control of your mind, your time, and your actions. The power to change is already within you. It's just waiting to be unleashed.